tended her until the very end. It was their duty. But more than that, they loved her. Clothed in black and grey, they had marched the final procession to the gallows. Struggling to keep her stiffening limbs aloft, the women now lay the Queen's body to rest on the floor before the altar. It was day. The candles were not yet lit. Absurd and unsure, Lady Grace Fairfax cradled the head as a babe. As the others looked to her, she placed it next to the exposed collar. Eyes closed and lips parted. She didn't look like Anne at all. So slack and unrefined. She didn't look at peace. She looked dead. Some wet trout at a fishmonger. Grace tugged the white cloth from the altar, a golden cross clattering to the floor. She placed it over her face. The women drew close, formed a circle around the body. Now, a dreadful quiet. Grace looked to her fellow witches. Why was no one doing anything? "Well," she said impatiently. "Revive her." The Viscountess, Lady Rochford, clasped the silk blindfold to her breast, her knuckles white. "Heresy, sister. We cannot." Grace ignored the outburst, instead turning to the old woman, the healer. "Nan, can it be done?" Nan Hobbs dutifully held her papery hands over the body. After a moment, she shook her head. "There is nothing to heal, child." "She is the Queen," Grace spat. Sour bile burned under her breastbone. She knew this coarse conduct was beneath her. But how could someone of Anne's magnitude be gone with such scant ceremony? After days of torturous waiting and weeks of slow decline, it had taken a casual second. Lady Jane Rochford, now Grace supposed their de facto leader, passed through what thin daylight filtered through the stained glass windows of St. Peter ad Vincula. She sighed. She is queen no longer. Seymour's girl will be upon the throne by week's end. No queen of mine, Lady Marjorie breathed, crouching at Grace's side. Nor mine, agreed Grace. There followed yet more silence. The air in the church felt oddly relaxed, and Grace found it disrespectful. The nerve of the world, turning when hers had stopped still. The column of meek sunlight advanced across the slabs. In these turgid minutes, Grace reckoned with the truth. Anne was gone, and no witch would bring her back. She was a fool unmasked, because she had not allowed herself to believe it. Not truly. How she had courted some divine intervention, if not from the king, from the mother. She'd have entertained, in her darkest moments, the treacherous tongue of Satanus himself. And guilt. Such guilt. She could have stopped the blade. Any of them could have. Anne could have. Instead of reading her carefully rehearsed lines so dutifully, she could have made the executioner plunge his blade into his own chest. They could have shown the world, at last, what it really was to be a witch. Alas, a display of their nature would bring a rain of fire down upon all witchkind. That, or they were cowards. Grace felt the air around her skin fizz. It was tempting to turn this fury outwards. But for what? She could have saved her. She had not. The church door whined open, breaking her from her stupor. Isabel and Temperance, returning from the White Tower, carrying between them a plain wooden box. "What is this?" "Where is the coffin?" Jane said, her face still ashen. Grace did not much care for the Viscountess, but she had not yet seen the woman weep, and she respected her grim resolve in the face of this grinding misery.